In Caerphilly, they're organising for a lobby of their council over the bedroom tax, and many of my comrades are in Newport. If people don't know, I think as Jamie S.G. Davis alluded to earlier, the Charters Bureau in Newport was completely demolished by the Labour Council shamefully on Saturday. So hopefully hundreds of people are in Newport demonstrating. And if people don't know much about our history, it runs like this. In the good old days of the British Empire, when the sun never set and the blood never dried, most people, while our country was busy invading other people's countries, most people in this country had no human rights and no civil rights, not even the rights of education and not even the rights of vote. And in 1839, the people of South Wales rose up in their thousands in Newport, aiming to trigger a UK-wide insurrection to bring about a democratic republic on this island. And that's what the Newport mural that's been demolished commemorates. And I think there's a few things to remember about that movement, Chartism, which I still think are very contemporary. They weren't just fighting for the rights of vote, for voting's sake, but for the rights of vote to get power and transfer wealth to ordinary people. I think the other thing is, it's become very commonplace to hear people say today that now there's a recession on, we have to look after our own, that there's problems with immigrants. It's very important to remember that immigrant communities in Britain not only participated in the struggle for our freedom, they were actually led this struggle. In Newport 1839 and in the Chartist movement, many of the most prominent leaders were from immigrant communities. Fergus O'Connor and Bronsair O'Brien were Irish at a time when the leading intellectuals and tabloids of the day dismissed Irish people as savages and apes. They were leaders of the Chartist movement. Another leader of the Chartist movement was a black man, William Cuffey, the son of a West Indian slave, the grandson of an African who was taken by force from Africa. So it's very important that we say that black, Asian and other immigrant communities not only participated in the struggle for our freedom, but we wouldn't have our freedom without the contribution of these communities. And we shouldn't tolerate any racism in the anti-cuts movement. And then the other thing, the other great lesson of Chartism is that power comes from change, and change comes from organisation. That you don't get anything unless you're organised. And in our organisation, Cardiff Against The Cuts, we're trying to tie our ropes together, stand shoulder to shoulder, link arms, to defend every home against the bedroom tax, to stop evictions, and to make sure that people can stay in their homes. Because there are many people who've lived in their homes for 20 or 30 years and will not be treated by scum and told that they have to move because of a bunch of Tory millionaires. And I just, forgive me because I'm quite unwell, so I'm really losing my thread, so I just want to end by saying, in Cardiff, there's still 4,000 people, 4,000 poor and disabled people who are affected by this bedroom tax. Since April, over 1,000 people have gone into arrears. Hundreds of people simply cannot and will not, cannot afford to pay this bedroom tax. And now, every day, people, housing association tenants and council tenants are getting letters threatening them, phone calls, visits, but they simply can't afford to pay. Last month, Cardiff Council wrote to every bedroom tax affected tenant of his, saying that if you don't pay, we'll have no choice but to evict you. And if you don't pay, we may consider yourself to make yourself essentially homeless, so we'll have no duty to rehouse you. And it's very important that we demand of Cardiff Council the pledge that nobody will be evicted for the crime of not being able to afford the bedroom tax. Is this what council, many other councils do in Scotland now? Every single Labour council has pledged that nobody will lose their crime, nobody will lose their home for the crime of not being able to afford the bedroom tax. Scottish Labour now pushing for a Scotland-wide ban on evictions in the Scottish Parliament. It's really important that we ask Welsh Labour councils to stand by their long-standing tenants and say that we won't allow people to be evicted. But if, obviously, if landlords, social landlords, and councils won't act, then people have to take matters into their own hands. So the next phase really is building an anti-evictions army that unites tenants, trade unions, communities to rise up and form human walls of solidarity between the bailiffs at people's homes to make the bedroom tax unworkable to stop evictions. I just want to end by saying that 6 months ago, many people affected by the bedroom tax got involved in our organisation, Cardiff Against The Bedroom Tax. They said, can we win this? And I think it's clear that we are winning. 6 months on, Labour now pledged that the Labour government would abolish the bedroom tax. Even the Liberal Democrats en masse slammed their own leadership at their conference over the bedroom tax. The UN Rapporteur on Housing has ruled that it does breach human rights and should be abolished. In the courts, in the tribunals, people are winning appeal after appeal against the bedroom tax. Opinion polls now show that over 60% of the public think that the bedroom tax should be abandoned, but only we can beat it to the ground. So the next phase is on October the 26th, on Saturday the October the 26th. We're going to gather at 1 o'clock outside City Hall to have a mass demonstration to create because this can't just be a movement of tenants, it has to be a movement of communities, of the people, of the mass democratic force of this city. So we're going to have a demonstration calling for the bedroom tax to be axed, calling for people to join the Home Guard, the anti-evictions army, and that's going to be assembling at 1 o'clock on Saturday, October the 26th, and I hope everyone here can support this. And just to end, again, sorry about the chances, one of my heroes was the great black anti-slavery campaigner who had himself been a slave, Frederick Douglass, who said that without struggle, there's no progress. And when he visited South Wales, he was proud to call himself a Chartist. And he said we have a tremendous struggle ahead. It may be a moral struggle, it may be a physical struggle, it may be a moral and a physical struggle, but there has to be struggle, because power concedes nothing without demand. And we're forming a mass power organisation. We're going to defeat the bedroom tax, we're going to defeat the Cameron government, we're going to defeat the austerity agenda, whatever party is in power, and whoever governs us after the next election, let's be ungovernable. Thank you.